Where have all the metalheads gone? Hello? Love Opus early albums. Metalheads are still here, we're still around. Yes, there are some ex-metalheads for their own personal reasons who are about, but I won't bash them for their choices. People are allowed to listen to whatever. But metalheads, yeah, may be small in group on a regional scale, but on a global scale, we're far and right. So in this video, Rick mentions a lot of popular bands, rock and metal, that have reasonably high numbers of listeners, and it's no surprise that some of the bands mentioned here I happen to be a huge fan of. I happen to be a huge fan of, and I think the kind of vibe I'm getting from Rick is that he's acknowledged, as well as me, and I'm definitely much younger than he is. The vibe I'm getting from this video of his is that he's acknowledged the change in terms of how we process music. I'm going to just say it here, I'm actually open to this change in terms of how we process music, or how I process music. And I'm definitely from back in the day where we used to go and purchase CDs, albums from the shop, watching music videos on TV. Like that was my entry point into music, and I think for a lot of you that was your entry point into music in terms of how you access music like 20-30 years ago. Obviously things changed over time. We now access music via streaming platforms, Spotify being the most notable. I'm a Spotify user, a premium. I've got like 2 playlists where I just store my favourite songs on there. So that's how I process music nowadays. Like, don't get me wrong, I would love to get back into owning physical media, but not to get too deep into it, but my living situation would have to change drastically before I can get back into owning physical media again. And that's not just in regards to collecting physical music media, but physical media in other forms. But I do have quite the t-shirt collection. Those who watch my videos regularly will know. The point of Kids Not Against Metal shows is debatable, because I do follow metal bands on social media, and metal bands do have to tour due to the changes in the music industry constantly, which means we're getting like every 1 or 2 years we're getting a new album drop, which is good, and it's also good for fans getting to see their favorite bands every now and then on a regular basis. But I think what Rickerson missed out, and I don't think he intended to cover it in the video, is that the changes in regards to some of the challenges that a lot of bands face in regards to going on the road, in regards to touring. Like, one thing he doesn't mention here, which I will mention, is that the financial challenges, and that yes, bands do make money. They do make money, but not a fraction of it doesn't go to them directly. That's why there's an emphasis on buying physical media, buying merch from bands to help support them, which I support as well. Yeah, I do acknowledge that there's been this whole boom in fitness culture amongst youngsters, but there's some aspects of that I'm highly critical of. But again, I'm not against prioritizing your physical well-being, because that's important as well as your mental well-being as well. A part of well-being is listening to your favorite music every now and then, and that doesn't just apply to youngsters, that can apply to people who are 25 plus. So does every 15 to 25-year-old have to recreate what Metallica or bands from that time period were doing back in the day, where they were just crashing beverage cans on their head? Do I think that's going to improve the state of metal? Me personally, I don't think so. And I think regardless of age, you should be doing what you generally want to do. Alright, you may be into skateboarding, you may be into lifting weights, you may be into outdoor cycling, you may be into reading books, you may be into playing board games, you may be into all sorts of things that you do with your friends. But one of the things that draws me to heavy metal in particular is the sense of individuality and how it's encouraged. Like, your interest could be whatever, but you're still so much into heavy metal music. Like, take me for example. My day job is I'm a legal admin support. I work at a law firm. I ride my bike early mornings on the weekends, What else? Like, I've got two close friends who are into creating art and music, as well as cooking. Like, the world is so diverse. Like, I don't think metal fans should just be reduced to this like stereotype. Like, as a metal, metal fan or non-metal fan, human beings were just so diverse. And I know I'm kind of going off, but I hope you understand where I was going with this. But yeah, the link to the original video will be in the description down below. But that was just my reaction slash opinion to what Rick had to say. With that being said, I'll be seeing you in the next video.